Hey ballers, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today we're going to show you how to deal with a stuck shed using a bath. But before we get to that, we did have something I consider to be a very serious incident strike our Olympus family, and we want to share that with you. So I'm going to turn the stage over now to Key Grip Jen, and she's going to tell her story about what happened to her, as it is a serious type of incident that affects way too many Americans.
Hey guys, it's Key Grip Jen. Just want to talk about a little incident. Obviously you can tell that I have a nice big fat lip here. Something super serious. It's not something that I saw coming. Obviously I was doing something that he didn't want me to do, and I got punched in the face and ended up with this big fat lip. It was bloody. It was just a whole mess. There was a lot of crying, a lot of apologies, saying it would never happen again. So to anybody out there that's been affected by any sort of type of violence brought on by your children, I'm right there with you, and I stand next to you. And I mean, I was just tickling my son and punches got thrown, and it just hit, and I didn't see it coming. So I'm right there with you, and I stand for you, and I stand with you, and we can make it through together.
How old is your son?
He's 7.
Dangerous 7-year-old.
Dangerous 7-year-olds.
Santa remembers.
Yeah, Santa will remember this year.
All right, yes, we poke a little fun at a very serious subject. We did, but you always know I like to have fun. However, domestic violence is something that myself nor Kurt, neither one would ever do. It is something we take very seriously. So, if you are the kind of human being that does punch your girlfriend in the face, you are a shithead. And I will just go ahead and straight up say that right now, but this is not about that. Let's go ahead and go back to cleaning the snake. And, for equal opportunity, making a mess. If you are the kind of woman who punches your man in the face, you shouldn't do that either. But dude, if you hit her back, you're still a shithead. All right, moving on to the snake. We had one that had a little bit of a rough shed. And you're going to have this from time to time. You know, so I'll show him to you. I'll show the problem area. He got most of it off, but you can see all through here, he's just got some stuck shed. So it's really simple. What we'll do, in this water, you can put your hand there if you want. It's not quite what I would call warm, but it's not cold. It's just kind of like basically the temperature of his body. So I don't want him to freak out, and you can see he's not. We'll put a lid on him. This is not airtight. He could push it off if he really wanted to. Depth here is important. So as you can see, we have the water where it's deep enough that it's getting on his back, since that's the problem, but he can easily get his head above it. We're not going to drown him, and then I don't like to leave him in here very long. So what we're going to do is I'm not going to make you sit here and watch 10 minutes of a snake in a bath. So we're going to just go ahead and do the magic of filming and come back and pull him out right about now. So what you don't realize is 8 minutes just passed. That was quick, huh? So we basically had this thing in here for about 10 total minutes taking a bath. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. And what you'll see is really none of the skin came off. But that's to be expected. The other part of this is I like to have a washcloth. And you get that wet in the same water, so the temperature's about right. And then we're going to take him. Oop, didn't mean to drop water on your face there, dude. We're just going to kind of use this. We're going to kind of roll it down him. And you can see right there how it's going to grab some of that skin. Because it's got the little teeth using the washcloth. Like what we scrub with is what you're working on. And this is a really non-abrasive way to start removing some of that shed. You're not going to hurt his scales doing this. And you're going to get a lot of it off. Now, will you get everything off? Probably not. So what do you do then? Well, you can repeat this for several days in a row if you need. But we can see actually right there's the start where it starts. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on. And look, right there. Bingo, bango, bongo. There's your problem. So you can see right there where we have some retained shed. By using that rag and bath, in one shot, it actually got all that off. And now you can see he's beautiful. Now, when you do have a stuck shed, one thing we checked beforehand, I want to show you, without pissing him off too much, is to take a close look at the eyes. And you want to make sure your eyes are nice and clear, which these are, because the part that can really hurt them are the eye caps. If this was on him and it stayed, he'd eventually just go into shed again and get that off, and it wouldn't be a big deal. But the eye caps can cause them some issues, can cause them not to feed because they can't see very well. It can cause them a lot of stress. And you kind of do that the same way. I like to bathe them then you got to kind of hold them a little bit still. And you're just going to rub this one direction across their eye. And the hope is that the little teeth on the washcloth will hook that eye cap and kind of roll it off and peel it off for you. And I've done that several times with great success. And that, guys, is really how I remove stuck shed from a snake and do it nice and easy. And look at that thing. Now it looks perfect and beautiful. And we got this off. As you can see, it took about a total of 15 minutes with soak time and everything. Problem solved. Any questions, Kurt?
Yeah, are there any like commercial products that you can use?
There are, but they're shat. There's stuff like called Shetties and things like that you can use, and it may help. But I have found that this combo with this is simple. It's simple, it's cheap, and it comes right out my sink. So that's what I would recommend using. I also saw that Question Girl. Question Girl's here. Oh my God. Question Girl had a question. What was that?
You put your snake in a tub for today's bath. If you didn't have a tub, would you be able to put your snake in an actual bathtub or in like a kitchen sink?
I mean, you can, but there's a couple problems. One, it's very, very hard to keep him in there. Two, when you have that lid on there, it kind of keeps all this as a big humidity chamber. If you look around the walls, it's going to be wet through here, and you can see that. So you're kind of keeping that humidity all over. So you're doing a better job if it's semi-sealed. Obviously, you don't want it airtight. Having some kind of loose lid on it is good, I think, to help get that shut off. Any other questions?
Yes. When you give your when you give your snake a bath, can you use bubble bath or soap? Or is it just a straight, regular, tepid water?
Just a straight, regular, tepid water. You really shouldn't be putting any of this water. I mean, nobody comes there and gives them a spa day when they're in the wild. If there's certain medical issues you have, you could use a little betadine in there to help treat things like scale rot, if you had that kind of thing going on. But don't go putting soap or abrasive or chemicals in there. He really does not need it. He will be just fine without it, I promise. By the way, this is a he. This is Nick's, our pastel axanthic male. He is dad to our super pastel axanthic male as well. Any other questions, Question Girl?
Yes.
My God, she catches up. When she's been gone, she just catches up. Go ahead.
You mentioned something called betadine and another something called scale rot. What are those two issues, or is it a product? I mean, what is
betadine's a product. It's like a disinfectant. Scale rot would be, and he doesn't have any, so I can't show. I don't have one. But these kind of get nasty looking, and it's almost like a fungus that's going to spread through there and cause health issues, and it can be used to help treat that. But I don't have any animals with scale rot, so it's not something I need to do or have to do or can even show right now. And I don't even have any betadine because guess what? I don't usually get animals with scale rot. Anything else?
Yes. Is scale rot something you need to disclose to your snake partner?
Probably. You probably would have to disclose a little scale rot. I like to do it afterwards. You know, oh, by the way, my favorite way of disclosing that is the card in the mail. Hey, it was a wonderful evening. Penicillin's cheap. That was how I used to go out on dates. All right, guys, that's all we got after that. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week.